Well, I can't get out of my apartment. The protesters are surrounding you. So,
Well,
uh,
it's not going to get easier in the next month.
no, I know. I've got another meeting though. I've got to get to. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to get through.
Well, let me
But
begin
I'll
by
get through.
begin by asking you. You are a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and the president is
Yep.
going to make his nomination on the 26th of September. As I look at the calendar, 10 days later is Tuesday, October 6th. Is it your recommendation to the chairman to begin hearings on Tuesday, October the 6th?
My preference would be to begin them as quickly as possible. Now, that doesn't mean my preference is going to sway our chairman. And that's not a criticism of Lindsey. Lindsey wants to give everybody plenty of time, and I think we do have plenty of time. But I'm a firm believer that when you've got your support lined up, you take it. You take your vote. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to do a thorough hearing. I don't know for sure who the president's going to nominate. I'm going to do my job and vet that candidate. But right now, we seem to have a consensus, and I would move it forward as quickly as possible. But I'm labor, not management.
Okay. I've never heard a senator call himself labor before, but okay,
Well,
here's
that's
the
true.
deal.
It's up to Senator Graham and Senator McConnell.
Well, Senator Graham is a great senator. He's going to be reelected handily
Yes.
in South Carolina if he gets this thing done, and I think he will get this done. I look at it this way, Senator. We've got five on the list: Amy Coney Barrett, judge of the Seventh Circuit; Joan Larson, judge of the Sixth Circuit; Barbara Lagoa, judge of the 11th Circuit; Allison Rushing, judge of the Fourth Circuit; and Kate Todd, deputy counsel to the president. I really don't think the president's going to nominate Kate Todd. So you're going to have a nominee who's been before your committee within 3 years. That means it will not be hard to collect the opinions that this judge has issued in the 3 or 2 or 1 year they've been on the bench, and to update their financial disclosure and their FBI form. So I think 10 days is plenty of time to circulate and for the nominee to prepare. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So,
But I can't guarantee you that your or my opinion will prevail. I have looked at the tentative calendar. I don't know if Lindsay's announced it yet, but it leaves us plenty of time to do a proper confirmation and to do a floor vote. And I'm going to. I'm going to follow their schedule, obviously. I'm just a big believer that when you have a consensus, you act on it.
well, I'm a big
And again, that
believer.
doesn't mean we're not going to properly vet the candidate, but right now everybody seems to be, except for a couple of senators on our side, seems to be together.
Well, I'm a big believer in fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. And the Democrats used a late hit on Brett Kavanaugh to reopen the hearings. So that is, to me, an
Yep.
argument to begin the hearings in 10 days in the event that they come up with a late hit. Again, however unwarranted or however made up, the Brett Kavanaugh stuff was not persuasive to me in the least, and therefore starting earlier rather than later, I think, is the smart bet. Do you agree that past is prologue in these matters?
Yes. Oh, I think there'll be a hit, and I don't know what it'll be. If it's, for example, and I don't know who it is. If it's Judge Barrett, I think it's clear that some of my colleagues on the committee on the Democratic side think that if you believe in God, you're not qualified to serve on the Supreme Court, which I think is a very strange point of view, but they're entitled to it. But look, I mean, this one is important, and based on what happened to Judge Kavanaugh, it wouldn't be surprised. Nothing would surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if the dinosaurs returned, given 2020. Hugh, I mean, I just know Senator Schumer, and I know what he's going to do. I don't know exactly what he's going to do, but I know he's going to do something.
May I respectfully disagree, though, Senator? They are not entitled to do whatever they want to do. Article 6 of the Constitution says religious tests are prohibited. And so when Dianne
Oh, I agree with that.
Feinstein and Dick Durbin and Mazie Hirono attacked Amy Coney Barrett for her religion 3 years ago, that was unconstitutional. And Tom Tillis told me he won't put up with it this time. Now, the Democratic Party is not anti Catholic, but there are anti Catholic elements within it. they nominate Catholics like Biden and Kerry and Jack Kennedy, so they're clearly not anti-Catholic. But there are some people that will hold it against a nominee, like they did with Judge Barrett and another nominee who belonged to the Knights of Columbus, that they are active Catholics. Will you put up with that?
No, but that won't stop the attacks. And I don't know, Hugh, that it's just anti-Catholic. I think that there are, I don't want to paint them too broad a brush, some of my colleagues who apparently don't believe that you should have a religion at all. That if you believe in God, it disqualifies you. I find that extraordinary and breathtaking. But this is America, and they're entitled to believe that. I stand by that, but that doesn't mean they're right. If that's the way they approach this, I'm going to beat them as like they stole Christmas. Not physically, of course, but I'll be very vocal.
I'm
but
glad
that was
because
what happened last time with one of the nominees.
yeah, that they are not entitled to, as senators. I mean, the media is entitled to be anti-Catholic if they want, but senators are not entitled to be anti-Catholic, and
I think it's wrong. We're saying the same thing. I think it's wrong, but I'm a big believer in free speech, and as long as you do it peacefully in America, I think you have the right to say what you think. Now, the fact that some of my colleagues might think that takes my breath away, but the American people need to know.
You know, it's interesting, Senator. I know you went to UVA law school. They may not teach Article 6 there. I just think that at Michigan we learned Article 6. I wrote a book about Article 6 for when Mitt Romney ran because I was so upset by anti-Mormon bigotry. And I know it's not what they intend, but when they say that, they telegraph to Knights of Columbus members or People of Praise members that they are second-class citizens. They suggest, like the old saw about divided loyalties being applied by anti-Semites, that Catholics have divided loyalty. It's really nasty, and the Democratic Party should drive it out. It should be driven out.
Well, I agree, and I think we're saying the same thing. What I'm saying is, if one of my colleagues in the United States Senate thinks that being a Catholic or believing in God disqualifies you from being on the United States Supreme Court, I'm saying, number one, under the First Amendment, they're entitled to have that belief. But number two, I disagree with it vehemently. And number three, I want the American public to know. If that's what our Democratic friends stand for, and I know all of them don't, but some do, I think, then I think the American people need to know what they're up against.
I would just add number 4 to what you said. I agree with 1, 2, and 3. Number 4, they should resign from the United States Senate because they're violating Article 6 of the Constitution. Now, a journalist can say whatever they want, but you are a member of the government, and you are bound by Article 6, and you and your colleagues
I agree with that.
All right. So let me go to the actual hearing itself. When you sit down and you've got Amy Coney Barrett or Joan Larson in front of you, what do you hope to get out of them and their opinions that they've issued, whether it's 5 or 15 or 25 or 50, or on panels on which they've sat? What do you hope to learn?
I'm looking for 3 things: intelligence, character, temperament. And I will have read all of the nominees' opinions, or as many as I possibly can before the hearing. I may have some questions about a passage here or there. I'm looking to discern their judicial philosophy. I want to know that they don't see a Supreme Court justice as a politician in robes. I want to know that they're not going to try to rewrite the U.S. Constitution every other Thursday to advance some political or social agenda that the voters won't accept. I want them to. I want to understand that that they're supposed to tell us what the law is passed by Congress, not tell us what the law ought to be.
What is your advice to nominees?
Time preparing for this hearing.
Yeah, what is your advice to the nominee? I always think they ought to listen to the entire question very carefully and make sure they don't answer a question that's not asked, and make sure that they do respond to those that are.
I would tell them to be themselves, listen carefully to the question, understand that they're going to be interrupted, understand that there are going to be some people trying to get under their skin, and just be themselves. And what's the line from the movie? Be cool, honey bunny. Just answer the questions and be honest.
Are, are
Go
you
ahead.
s- are you certain we will have a vote on this nominee before the election, Senator Kennedy?
Yes.
And what do you think the consequences would be for the Republicans if they didn't get a vote on this nominee?
I think the American people would be very disappointed. I would be very disappointed.
I think it'd
I
be
think we will.
disastrous.
Now,
Yeah.
now, look, I don't speak for Senator McConnell. You'll have to talk to him. He sets the schedule. You ask me my opinion. I think it's imperative that we go all stand up in front of God and country and vote on this nomination, whomever it may be.
I agree
And we do so
completely.
before the election.
I agree completely. And I believe that if the Republicans don't get that vote taken, up or down, they will be punished by their own party in a complete and tidal wave like fashion. Do you agree with that, Senator? That's a prediction, not a
Yes,
statement of
but
fact.
I do, but I don't think we're going to get there. I think we'll have the vote. I can't guarantee it, but I do. I've got confidence in Senator McConnell, and I don't blame him for holding the cards close to his chest. But I believe we'll for the election.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy. Keep coming back. I always love having you on. And I don't know the quote about Honey Bunny. I'm going to have to look it up, but don't use it during the hearings. Pulp
I
Fiction.
want
That's it.
you.
Don't use it during the hearings.